Alright, hello everyone. Got a little project going here. This is the Clarkston, Hampton Bay Clarkston, I think. Came from Home Depot, I think. Yeah, I remember seeing one of these at Home Depot, but got a little problem with this one. I've been talking a lot about capacitors and stuff like that, capacitor failure, and I even simulated it with another fan. I've got two more fans I need to film in this current video that are currently installed, but we're actually, as of a recording of this video, we're actually about to go to camp. So there'll be some videos filmed of the fans at camp again, just like 4 years ago when I filmed the big ASS fan. If you know, you know. Well, A $sign is what they actually say it, but you guys know what I mean. So I apologize of how dirty this thing was. This thing got a lot of use while it was in here, or while it's been in here. But I just noticed an issue with it. You might see that its capacitor is kind of hanging there. Well, I had to take it apart. I have the light kit right there. Those shades need cleaning, my goodness. But I've noticed a problem with it if I do certain things to it. So I noticed that high and medium speed are literally the exact same thing. It's actually medium speed repeated on high. So this thing completely lost its high speed. So if we come up here, so what I'm saying is pretty much this thing I think has a bad capacitor. One of the capacitors in this block here has failed completely. Because I've noticed that if I flip the reverse switch while it's off, we lose high speed altogether. Like, it won't even work on high. If you go to medium and it would start like if it was going on high. So here's the capacitor ratings. You got 3.5 microfarad with the gray and red combo. You've got 5 microfarad with gray and red. I mean, gray and brown, I mean. And then gray and purple makes 6 microfarads. And I think one of the positions on the pull chain combines 1 with the main power, and then the other position combines 2 of these. And I'm thinking one of these have failed. When it combines 2, I think it failed with one of them. So now it's just repeating one of them. So but yeah, let's try low speed. So this is basically another demo video, but this time with a bad capacitor, or well, failing capacitor. Well, I might as well just say bad because one of the capacitors failed completely. Like, it doesn't even get that speed anymore. So this is low. It's got a fast low speed. Like, you wouldn't think it has a bad capacitor with how well it spins, because a lot of bad capacitor fans have really hard time spinning up. But this one, 2 of the capacitors actually are good. One of them is bad. And you'll see why. Not sure how good the camera's going to pick this up, but it doesn't speed up very much from medium and high. And it doesn't speed up at all, but it doesn't speed up much from low to medium either. The speeds are very close to each other. So it's already at full speed here. I'm getting on a step ladder here. Alright, here's medium, which is the fastest it goes. If I go to high speed, nothing changes. It just stays at the same speed. But when I whenever I turn it off, like when I put it in the off position on the pull chain and then flip the reverse switch, the high position on the pull chain doesn't work at all for some reason. I'm not sure what that is all about. I've seen that symptom in a few other fans. They just don't like it when you switch the reverse switch while it's in the off position, because it just doesn't work. I've seen a couple other fans do that, like especially the old fans, but this ain't even old. This fan, I don't know, this fan's only a few years old, I think. It looks pretty new. So it's humming. Okay, and nothing changed. It just stays the same. It may have gotten a tiny bit faster, I don't know. But there's definitely something not right here. So I'm going to click it back down to medium real quick. Same amount of airflow, same RPMs. At least I think same RPMs. I've kind of tested the RPMs by letting the blades hit my finger a little bit without slowing it down. And then I switched the speeds, and it'd be hitting my finger at the same rate. It wouldn't slow down. And then whenever I finally hit low, I saw it spinning down, or slowing down. It heard it slowing down anyway. So let's do that other thing here. Okay, this is back down to low. I'm going to slow it down. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip the reverse switch. So watch. Without flipping the reverse switch, it comes on instantly on high. Or when you hit it in the high position anyway. And then watch this whenever I hit the reverse switch. I don't know if this is a bad reverse switch on its part, but it's definitely got something going on with the capacitor. So now... Oh, okay, well it seems to work now. Let's see if I can get it to do it. So, let me hit the reverse switch down again. I think it happens only in downdraft now. Huh, it was doing it earlier. I wonder if it does it whenever I do this. Okay, well, that doesn't seem to make sense, but it would stop. It wouldn't work on high at all. It wouldn't even spin when you put it in the high position if you hit the reverse switch like that. Let me see what happens when I do it like this. Now, there we go. I've turned it down, or I've put it in updraft while it was running. I know this is not healthy for the fan. It doesn't want to do it anymore. It does run very slow in the other direction. Let me just switch it up to high. I'll show you guys. It runs so much slower in high reverse. It runs slower than medium speed on high. I think that's just because of how close it is to the ceiling with the air resistance. So I don't think that's got anything to do with the bad capacitor, but we've definitely lost something in the capacitor there. And I'm sure it's got something to do with the, I'll say, I don't know what the word's called, where it's only working every now and then. Intermittently or something like that. The reverse switch is only working half the time. So, of course, when I'm recording it, it doesn't do the thing. But that's high speed on reverse. Look at how slow that thing's going. And it is humming a lot. So, I know bad capacitors make the motor hum much louder than it should be. You hear that? That doesn't sound healthy. Especially for how slow it's going. It kind of got louder on medium. It quietens down a little bit. Okay. You slow it down. There we go. I'm really trying to see if I can get it to do the thing again. I wonder if the reverse switch is just a little faulty, but there's definitely something going on with the capacitor too. Maybe it's because I'm flipping the reverse switch much better now. I don't know. The reverse switch only is working intermittently, or whatever that word is, that it's only working every now and then. I hope I'm getting the word right. But yeah, I'm thinking one of these combos failed. It's either the 5 or the 6 that failed. I'm thinking the 5, or no, not the 5, or yeah, maybe, I don't know which one they combine for medium, because I know when it's on high, it doesn't use any of them, I think. It just uses the capacitor just to like torque the fan up, I think. I'm still learning about capacitors and stuff, but I'm very hesitant to replace the capacitor because this is not my fan. It is the landlord's fan. If it was my fan, I would have had the capacitor replaced already. But since it's not my fan, I don't really want to do any work on fans that would not benefit me in the long run at all. It'll only benefit the landlord. I'm only doing stuff for my fans, not for these. That's not that I don't care about the landlord's fans. It's just that it's the landlord's job to fix those things or replace the fan altogether. Of course, if he replaces the fan, I would take it off his hands real quick. But, you know, I honestly want to see if this capacitor is going to get any worse. It still works okay, I guess. But I had it off for like the longest time, and I know this thing has suffered some power surges. So I'm assuming we had a really bad storm come through a few months ago, and this thing was already slow before, but it got even slower. So I think the capacitor just suffered a bad lightning storm, and it went out because the power surged really bad before it actually went out. Like everything was flickering like crazy before it actually went out. I'm surprised my shop fan survived, because my shop fan is the reason why I knew the power was surging so bad, because my shop fan was turning on and off and on and off, and it's got a capacitor in it too. So I'm not sure how many times a capacitor can survive a power surge before it finally just kicks the bucket. For this one, apparently not very many times. Or actually, no, I think a lot of times, but I think this capacitor was already going bad. Like, in my previous videos, sorry, I keep getting my finger in the way there. In my previous videos of this fan, like when we first moved in, it sped up just a little bit on high, but now high speed just quit working altogether. Now it's just medium, and low in the positions on the pull chain. So yeah, there's definitely something going on there, and I'm sure there's a faulty reverse switch as well. But like I said, it's not my fan, so I'm deeming myself not allowed to do any work on this. The furthest I can get is taking it apart, I guess. But I mean, it's not like it'd be a bad thing if I replace the capacitor. It's just that I don't want to spend my parts on a fan that's not mine. That's what I'm getting here, because I have. I'll show you guys right now, actually. I have ceiling fan parts down here, or little electronics. I showed it in a previous video that would have been uploaded at the time of this recording. If I haven't already said it in the videos that I've been recording, or if I don't ever say it, I'll say it now. I got videos scheduled pretty much all the way to the end of this year as of this recording, so this is just adding to that line. So there's a lot of back and forth on the future and past. Okay, so let me show you guys what I've got going on down here. So yeah, I've got capacitors. I've got more 5-wire capacitors than anything. This is 4.5 microfarad on the gray and red combo, which is 1 more microfarad than the fan, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It's the same capacitor, pretty much, and you're able to go just a little bit higher, so it doesn't really harm anything. And I've got spare pull chains, all that other stuff, and this pull chain actually looks just like the new pull chain in the fan, except it doesn't have this little indentation here on the side. And I've got 3-way light pull chains, and then I've got regular light pull chains. I need to order more of these, because I just had to replace the pull chain on the Lillicrest, because I accidentally yanked the chain out of the Lillicrest, because it's just a cheap pull chain that they put in that thing. So yeah, or not a cheap pull chain, but the pull chain that I had in it originally had been made very cheaply. Apparently, it was actually pretty new. It hardly used, but apparently it pulled out pretty quick. So I guess I got to be more careful pulling those chains. So yeah, the Lillicrest already had to get a repair, and I just have to keep tightening the. I just have to keep tightening the blade brackets to the fan, because the Lillicrest, the Lillicrest runs on medium continuously. It'll run on low reverse whenever winter comes around. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to spend my parts on a fan that's not mine, just to benefit the landlord in the long run. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. If the capacitor gets bad enough, I will actually just for the project, I will change it out. Just for the project. But I'm going to let it run like this and see if it gets any worse. And then I'll go from there. But, yeah. I hope this helped someone out there in the YouTube world that's looking for things to look for a bad capacitor, like symptoms. Well, one of the symptoms is your fan repeats one of its speeds, or it will run slower than it's supposed to. In my case, my fan's repeating one of the speeds, which is medium. It's repeating medium speed on what's supposed to be high, so one of the wire combos has indeed failed. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this thing back together real quick, and yeah. It is moving around like crazy though. It does not move a lot of wind. It does kind of go faster on medium for some reason, but doesn't go as fast as it should. I've seen demo videos of this thing going way faster. I've actually heard this thing make wind noise on the demo videos I've seen of it. So it's definitely something with the capacitor, not the motor. It may be a cheaply made fan, but I've seen this thing in other people's houses go way faster. And this one's just the unlucky one to have a bad capacitor now. It's always the cheap fans that have bad capacitors eventually. The Brookhurst, the Clarkston, and a lot of times Hampton Bay Farmington has a capacitor failure too, which is a surprise. I'm gonna try and buy a couple of Hampton Bay Farmingtons in the future as well, and I'm gonna turn one of the Hampton Bay Farmingtons into a Hampton Bay Carousel. I'm just gonna color it like one. I think the Hampton Bay Carousel is the one that's rainbow colored. It's a childhood fan of mine that I can't find on eBay, so I'm gonna make one out of a Hampton Bay Farmington because it has pretty much the same parts. It's just a downgraded version of the modern world. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching.